Want to build your brand? Stealing secrets from Billie, Eilish, Taylor Swift, and Foo Fighters. The music industry has always lived at the crest of the cultural wave, setting trends and reflecting changing beliefs and desires. So it is no surprise that brands have long traded on the cultural relevance of musicians, tapping them as creative directors, ad campaign stars, and partnerships that harness not only their creative talents, but also their zeitgeist-ish cultural capital. Think Nike as collaboration with Drake on the strength of his much meme-ified puffer jacket. Smart brands don't just capitalize on music stars' existing fame. They learn directly from their maverick approaches and apply them to a business context. After all, if anyone understands the power of brand building, it is musicians. The Beatles, Madonna, Beyoncé, and Megan Thee Stallion have all harnessed the multifaceted approaches of the most powerful brands to get to the top. Musicians can teach brands to embrace change, rather than fight it. The Billie Eilish of today is not the slime-haired artist of 2 years ago, and that evolution is what has kept her relevant. Musicians understand how quickly consumers get bored. It is no different for brands. Heinz maintained its beloved Beanz Meanz Heinz slogan for 54 long years, but in 2021 announced an evolution to Beanz Meanz More to emphasize the versatility of its products. However successful the brand has been in the past, businesses need to remember, as Eilish did, that moving forward is key to growth. Securing the future of a brand as hooliganism come at the price of its heritage, and Taylor Swift knows this better than most. In 2019, reports emerged that Big Machine, the label she had been signed to for her first 6 albums, had been acquired by record exec Scooter Braun, meaning her master recordings now belong to him. With no clear route to regain ownership, Swift decided to do something radical and re-record them all, tagging the new albums with Taylor's version. It as a brilliant branding decision. Take fashion brand Burberry. For a tense moment in the early 00s, its trademark black, tan, and red check pattern had become synonymous with a particular kind of trashiness. It was the tabloid staple of fallen B-list celebs and became increasingly associated with hooliganism and pub violence in the UK. But shortly after becoming the brand as creative director in 2001, Christopher Bailey overhauled Burberry with a mix of modern and classic looks, largely built around a single sexy trench coat, and brought in the likes of Kate Moss and Emma Watson to show them off. Crucially, he reduced the then much lambasted checkered pattern to just 5% of products, very gradually reintroducing it until 2017, when it made its triumphant return to chime with the booming streetwear trend. Several artists have shown the benefits of stepping outside of their hero project, with Foo Fighters arguably leading the charge. Yes, they are a band first and foremost, but they are also documentary makers, pop-up pub lords, memoiristes, and horror film stars. The success of all of this lies in the fact that absolutely none of it feels off brand. Picking the right collaborators is key to successful diversification, as is having a solid understanding of the new directions your brand should, and just as important as hooliganism go. British rapper Stormzy has channeled his political and social activism into his award-winning Merc Books publishing imprint, which is a home for underrepresented voices. It shows how brands can turn a desire to effect change into concrete action. Much has been written in recent years about the purpose debate, but what brands can learn from Stormzy is that real-life initiatives and commitments go miles further than wishy-washy promises that seem more squarely aimed at playing the game than underscoring genuine meaning. Perhaps the most obvious lesson brands can learn from musicians: don't underestimate the power of personality. The most timelessly successful music artists, think Prince, Elton John, Lady Gaga, and Beyoncé, have forged radical, provocative approaches and aesthetics. Today, artists like FKA Twigs and Lil Nas X reinforce that when it comes to courting the loyalty of General Z, pushing the envelope and getting comfortable with subversion is a key consideration. For future-forward businesses, being willing to step outside the norm in your expression is a crucial stepping stone to reevaluating the value equation in your business. Too many business sectors are scared to take a risk, resulting in branding and advertising that is indistinguishable. Consumers have become more selective about brands and businesses that perpetually play it safe, just like artists who release the same album over and over, risk fading out of view. Stephen Seth is director and communications analyst at Space Doctors. a global cultural and creative consultancy.